Hells yeah, that farmland came out looking pretty darn nice. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week so far, and I hope everyone has also had a phenomenal start to their new year. In last week's episode, we discussed either expanding into some farmlands or into some, ore mines. With that said, I do think we're going to take a moment to go into the north sector of the map and do the farmlands, given that we have a blaring deficit for grain currently. Don't worry, this doesn't mean that we won't still be building our low-income area, and I still have plans to continue to expand that area. Just for right now, I think we need to address the game mechanics here. Therefore, in today's episode, we are going to build our first A4 Parklow interchange, services for the new area, and the first few specialized industry areas. There are a couple of items on our TLC checklist, primarily giving names to the area and lots of opportunities to beautify our county. So with all that said, let's jump right on into it. So the first item of business is to come in and purchase some more tiles, and I want to purchase tiles that contain the fertile ground resource, but also connects to our, if I move the info view here, the little 2-lane highway bypass that we've made here, as I'm going to want this to connect up into the area. So let's go on in here and let's get some of the tiles. And I'll start by just snagging this area. So I think I'll get these tiles for now. And you noticed I made a very thin purchase of tiles here, and that's because I am going to want to utilize the rail area right here. So yeah, I think we've got everything we want. So let's purchase. Awesome. Now that we have those tiles purchased, let's jump in and make our interchange, and I'm really excited. Something that is phenomenal about the new road tools here is just interchanges are just so darn wonderful to make now. So yeah, let's come on in and start to building. Oh my goodness, that is just too nice. I mean, it goes so smooth. That's a little curvy, but let's go in and kind of discuss what we have done here. So obviously we've created a park glow, but what I've really kind of abused is all the new types of road tools that we have. So I could really play hard with the lane mathematics. So for instance, you come in here and you get 2 exit lanes that will split. You can either head towards the lake or head over to our future industrial site, And then this is the part I was most excited about, was taking the 3-lane asymmetrical road and just abusing it. Like, I don't know what else to really call it, but you come in on 2 lanes and you can head towards the industrial site, or you can have a forced left-hand turn. So I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. And what I like also is that because this is all zonable, for a lack of better words, we could put a building right here and really utilize the space. So with that said, let me know kind of what you guys think. Not perfectly symmetrical. I think this one's a little bit bigger, but you know what? It gives it character. Yeah, we'll go with that. It gives it character. All right, next I want to connect our bypass here, our little 2-lane highway. And I do want to connect it right up here, but I want to be mindful of the natural resources. So we're either going to slip it right to the side here, I think, or go around the entire thing. But let's go on in and do just that. I would not want to come down this hill in the snow. Feel like we need a guardrail right here. But for the time being, I think this will suffice. Got a nice 2-lane highway that will connect us all the way back. Right about here. At some point we will probably come in and name this too, either, you know, Highway 1 or something like that. But for now we're going to leave it just as is, just because we can't really control or drag and drop where the road is. So for now, I think we may just leave that as is. Of course, I think it's actually all good. I think it actually lined up perfectly without needing any kind of special tool to that. Yeah, it did. So let's go in right now and let's name this, we'll just go with Highway 10 for now. Maybe we'll rename it later down the road. If there is a name you want to suggest, please let me know. A lot of these bypasses and highways are typically named after somebody. So if you think there may be a person here in Pine Harbor County, let me know the name and we will rename this from Highway 10 to that. While we have a moment here, let's actually come in here and we'll call this Highway 10 or caps lock, Jack Pine Highway / Highway 10. And then let's just make sure that that stayed all the way up to the roundabout in the center of the trailer park. Wonderful, it did. So what we're going to do, since I can't just extend that, we're going to just rename this one Jack Pine Highway / Highway 10. And eventually I think we'll come in and we'll name these interstates, but for right now I want to focus on this area up here. Since we are going to begin this settlement with agricultural industry, I figured we should probably start plopping services that would benefit the farms. Therefore, I want to start with placing the cargo station, and I actually want to place 2 of them, one for exports out into the northern area here, and one to keep connected to the rest of the county. So, what I think I would like to do is start by coming in and making sure my natural resources is up so I don't infringe on the fertile land. And I think we're just gonna upgrade. Got a little distracted with that, but now that that is done, okay, so let's come in here and actually put those cargo trains down now that I am done being a bit of a distracted squirrel. Again, would not want to have to be an 18-wheeler coming down this in the snow. All right. So now that we have that in, what I do want to do is something actually a little unique here. So I'm gonna start by putting the add-ons that I want first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these around later. Okay, so now that we have that, So naturally, I went to go save my game and ran into a bug, and the game didn't save. So things are going to look a little bit differently because I just had to come back in and rebuild everything, which kind of kills me on the inside, but we're officially going to start auto-saving. I've learned my lesson. That's twice now. So anyway, coming back to our build, I want to place in a telecom tower as well in this area, but I want to be careful because I don't want the service to give these guys any reason to level up. So we're going to come in, and I'm not going to go for the biggest one, I guess. That has some spread on it. So we'll come in with a little radio mast. Maybe what we'll actually do is take advantage of the little spaces we have right here. Yeah, I'm okay with that, I think. Okay, and next I want to come in to our development tree because I want us to unlock the recycling center. I think I want to place this somewhere right here, right on the outskirts, or if I can wiggle it right in here, I think it added a lot of nice layer of height for an aesthetic peel. So let's come on in to our development tree, unlock the recycling, and ooh, not as big of a boy as I thought it was going to be. That's perfect. All right, so let's plop this down just somewhere first and figure out what we're looking at for add-ons. So this one goes right into the existing footprint. This looks like it's additional. And this is also additional. So increase the garbage truck depot, so more trucks. Hazardous waste, so collects hazardous waste, allowing garbage to be processed at higher speeds. And then storage extension, so allows for significantly larger amounts of garbage to be stored for processing. All right, so let's jump into zoning the first couple agricultural areas. I will probably focus 1 or 2 of the sites for veggies and textiles each, and then just fill the rest up with grain, just because, again, we have even more of a blaring deficit than when we began this episode today. So let's jump on in and let's use up all of this fertile land here. Sweet. So next, I want to add in our dairy house signature building as well as some of the smaller generic industry and a couple low residential housing, just to spice up this area a little bit. I want to encourage the generic industry to produce beverages, convenience foods, regular food, and textiles. So I'm going to come into our taxation tab, drop down industry, and give these guys a reason to move in Pine Harbor County. There was one more in here. Where is it? Beverages, right here. So for now, I'm just going to go down to -1, because again, I want to subsidize and encourage them to come in. That way, when we're playing Whack the Growable, we're whacking a little less and growing a little bit more of the industry that we want. So let's come on in. Let's start with the dairy house, and I think this is going to be a really good spot for it because it's going to fit really nicely right here. So let's let's get to it. Alright, while we wait for some of the buildings to grow in over near the farming area, let's start tackling our TLC checklist. And first on our list is naming the outside connection to the east, right here near the trailer park. And I think I want to name this Bathrick. I'm not sure if that is actually the name of a place or not, but I saw the name on a street sign when I was traveling for the holidays and I kind of liked it. So as you can see, we've already kind of come in here and popped that in. So that way, anything we're connecting to on this side, on this eastern side of our county, we'll have our own custom little name here. So next, we had a great name suggestion for our low-income area, and everyone may notice this name suggestion comes from the same phenomenal community member who suggested Bunyan's Rest for our capital city. So thank you again for another great settlement name, and I want to officially come in and change this to Blackpool. Alright, so because I don't want this episode getting too long, let's jump into a Beautifying the Build time-lapse and start decorating what we have built thus far. I'm very excited as this time-lapse we are putting some very deliberately placed trees and maybe even a pathway or so, and maybe fixing this lack of symmetry. Ooh, that might bother me a lot. Anyway, I will see you guys in a few minutes. Please enjoy the Beautifying the Build time-lapse. So I wanted just a second to come in and kind of showcase some of the areas where the footage had been deleted or lost. I think part of what happened there is I didn't realize I had pretty much no space left on my computer on my tower. So Mr. Beefy was feeling a little full. So let's come in real quick and let's take a look at everything. So this is what the finalized cargo area ended up looking like. I did come in and try to prioritize the textiles and the general production chain that goes along with the agricultural area. And then I just really liked how this overground parking garage looked. It is completely unnecessary. I have way more parking in this area than is needed, but it looks good. Next, this is what ended up happening with the recycling center. So I kept it simple and just took it right off the main arterial here. Eventually some more decorations will probably go in here, but I wanted to leave all the upgrades off for now as I really don't know if we'll need it, and I didn't want to tax our budget too much. Finally, this is what the finalized dairy house looks like. Again, boatload of parking, naturally at a nice expensive fee of 35 monies. And yeah, this one was pretty simple. I could not, for the life of me though, get it to feel straight. So I'm just gonna pretend not to see this and not look at it. That way it doesn't drive me slightly insane. Alrighty, I think that just about wraps up this week's episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please consider hitting the like button, and if you are new to the channel and wish to follow along, please consider subscribing. Thank you all for joining me, and until next time, I hope you all have a phenomenal week.